Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram 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 Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om 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 Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Papa tune. Low pitch, Swamiji's pitch.
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri 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 Ram Jai Ram. Cleaning material. Cleaning smell. Material. Nalla smell. Ram Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram
Jai
Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram 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 Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, Hari Om. What is to be shared today?
I have a question, Swamiji.
Questions.
Question. If everything is Ram's will, if everything is God's will, then that means we don't need to pray for anything, correct?
We need not pray for anything.
Because it is all God's will. Everything that happens by His will, so we really don't need to pray for anything.
Yeah. But that comes only when we reach that stage, At the moment, we have not reached that stage. At the moment, our sense of individuality is still dominant in us. So naturally, we have to pray then. So long as the sense of individuality is there, self-effort, prayer, sadhana, everything is necessary. When once the river becomes one with the ocean, there is no individuality, So that is a stage which we have to reach. At the moment, though we believe in the words of the masters who have scaled, it has not become an experience for us. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes. So until such time. That means, we have to hand over lock, stock and barrel to him. That stage has not reached. When we reach that stage, whatever we say now, whatever is happening only by his will, it becomes an experience for us. Until we reach that stage, God has also given us a sense of freedom by which he is now facilitating for us to do our efforts and also to pray to him. It is also a gift given by him. So we will make use of the facilities until we know that he is behind even the prayer, until we know he is behind even the efforts, until we know that he is behind our sadhana.
Swami, I wanted to ask a question.
I want to ask you a question.
Swami, a few days back you were telling about having equanimity.
Equanimity. Few days back you were talking about equanimity.
Not getting disturbed if somebody is blaming me, or not getting, and also not when somebody is praising me. So, in my case, and also not reacting immediately.
Not reacting immediately.
In my case, I find that when the situation happens, when somebody says something very humiliating to me or insulting to me, at that moment I am not able to react, to say anything. But afterwards, for a few days, it goes on in my mind that he said to me this thing, I would do this thing, he said, then I said this thing, like this, it goes on in my mind. Then I really have to pacify my mind and somehow make it understand that we should not be, he's also Ram, the other person is also Ram, I should not be thinking like that. Then it slowly subsides, but it continues.
It continues. It won't subside.
Then it subsides, and after a long time, sometimes it comes back again. In some cases where the person who said something to me or did something to me, I'm not in contact with him for a long time, then slowly I forget. But where the person is still in my connection, sometimes I am able to tell him that you should not have said this thing, and then the things are cool. But otherwise, in many cases, I am not able to say this. And I try to pacify myself. I am myself telling my mind to calm down and not think like this. And everybody, various techniques are used, but it's still there. Is this, am I moving towards that where I will not be affected finally by by harsh words or by praise or
Am I moving towards that state where harsh words will not make any impact on me?
You are right, this is a struggle. When we hear about how we should try to refine ourselves, our present day tendencies or what you call behavior or what you call our priorities, it may not easily go along with it. So it's a struggle. So the only thing is when we intensify our sadhana means remembering him. In our case, it is Ram Nam. So when we keep on intensifying our Ram Nam, we have been promised that all such downpulling tendencies will fade away gradually. So this is a problem faced by everybody when they hear this particular sloga, and when they do that, oh, this is equanimity. Suddenly God will make us to go through a trying experience for no fault of us. Somebody may comment something, somebody may do something, and then we may not be able to go along with it. At the same time, part of the mind says, I should not immediately react. So this struggle will be there. It's okay. Then we try to now intensify our sadhana and keep on reminding us this is also a test given by him to me to refine. And nothing wrong to lovingly react. Because if you say that it keeps on coming back to you again and again and making you restless, when the other party is in a position to hear it with calmness, with passive, in a sattvic mood, you can go and clarify also what you said was not right. At that time I did not tell you because you were not in a mood to hear. This is the truth. Anyway, forget about it. Another method Papa used to suggest is we bring the other party mentally before us and touch their feet and then wash off. See, you came in that form and you made some comments. I really felt hurt. But at the same time, you have told me that I should be able to keep up the sense of equanimity and I should not lose myself. You also want that somebody's certificate or somebody's comment should not affect us. That means
the voice is breaking.
Voice is breaking, it seems. The voice is breaking, it seems.
Ah.
That must be internet problem.
Anyway, it is a struggle, but we will ultimately come out of the struggle. It's a struggle not only for you, it's a struggle for everybody. The moment we hear any spiritual values, there will be a tendency for us to immediately implement it. But our equipment is not yet ready, no? One part of the mind says, I should not. Another part of the mind says, I am right, and he should not have said that. So it is natural. So we pray to him to give us the needed strength and courage to handle it. Okay.
Sorry, in certain cases, I cannot say that because the other party is very strong.
In certain cases, I cannot say that.
I am not.
The party is very strong.
Mentally we can do that, no? Mentally we can bring the person before us and then lovingly convey as God is coming in that form, I am unable to accept this. It has not been, you have not trained me to accept. You have put me that this is right. So kindly enable me to, not to harbor any ill will towards him, though it is very difficult for me to go along with that line of approach. This is what is needed. We don't harbor any ill will towards anybody, though we may differ. Yeah.
But there is a part in our mind which back again and again. I am very much surprised to find it. This part
In the
of
mind
my
it
mind,
comes.
Which part of the mind it comes again and again? Why a part of the mind comes again and again?
Part of the mind again,
Surprise.
because of our old vasanas, you know. Because the me and mine is very strong in us. You just think about it. Suppose one of your best friends, one of your close friends, or your children, or they say or do something. Initially you may feel, but later on you will know, it's all right, they may not know the background. So wherever love is there, you will compromise, you have compromised. So that is why we always remember, Papa is keeping on reminding us, all these problems come only when we deal from our present level. That is our body, mind, intellect level. If we make an effort to raise ourselves to a little higher than what we have, probably we might be able to. What does it mean, little higher? It's not a flowery word. Suppose we go through the biographies of various people who have mastered themselves, you know, the small I in them, we will find that they have been able to raise themselves. So, as we said yesterday, going through the examples, we get convinced that it is possible. Keep on thinking about it. It will take some time. Puja Swamiji used to say, rubbing and scrubbing is painful, but it has to be done. For a spiritual aspirant, it is the most trying, very trying. We go through inquest of God, you know, the initial stage, what an amount of opposition he had faced. But he did not carry anything, though he was not going along with what somebody said. God is testing, that he was very clear. And God made him to hold on to what he felt right.
I remember in Quest of God, there was an incident where his wife's brother, Papa's wife's brother or somebody comes and speaks very harshly to him.
Some wife's brother comes and speaks harshly to
Papa's wife brother comes, no, Swamiji. For that he comes and talks harshly also.
Even if Papa had reacted, he did not carry forward anything, you know. He felt God behind it, God behind it. But that is what we said, you know, we do not harbor any ill will towards anybody, though we differ with them. And at times, suppose you are running an organization, you may have to spell it out also, you may have to express it. But at the same time, in your mind, suppose there is no ill will, then you will have to say, you have to take some tough decisions, strong words. So many things may be necessary while running an organization or even in a family, but we don't harbor any ill will. And our body language will say that we did not mean anything bad. So we will take it. If nothing is possible, you know, we become indifferent, positively indifferent to any such situation. That means you don't take them seriously into your mind. What happens is we take it seriously. And that we feel that it has disturbed our peace of mind. Whereas our peace of mind cannot be disturbed by anybody else. If the more you travel in the spiritual line, you will get convinced that peace is yourself. Papa used to clearly mention, you are peace. So how can it be disturbed by somebody else? So going deeper and deeper into the words of wisdom of masters, the incidents where how they have tackled such such situations, all these will definitely help us to reduce the negative impact of anyone's contact towards us. It's a struggle, I agree, totally agree. It's a terrible struggle. We pray, we keep on praying and do Ram Nam to expand our circle of love, accommodating all differences. Now.
And Swamiji, you said remembering God, the example you gave a couple of days back, for 5 seconds every hour.
Every
That
hour.
I think is a very good technique. We can
You are
even
with
set
me,
an
I am not.
alarm in our mobile. For every hour, we can set an alarm in our mobile. And after 1 hour, we just remember in 5 seconds, keep on doing our job. Like this, I find it.
That will definitely help.
Very, very helpful. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Certainly, last time you were telling about, I am forgetting that shloka, but it was yoga, koushalam, like skillful how to do work in yoga.
Yoga su karmasu koushalam.
Exactly, yes.
Yoga karmasu koushalam.
Karmasu koushalam.
Efficiency in action is yoga.
That's only that. Can you elaborate that?
Elaborate.
Efficiency in action, if we try to understand, it will become clearer to us. Then when there is a whole-souled, focused involvement, it comes out in the form of excellence. If part of my mind goes elsewhere, not that I mean anything bad, no? I am on a particular job, somebody comes and calls me, and it is urgent also. So how do I handle it? Immediately I should know that I should handle one thing at a time. If we are in a position to tell the other people, please wait, I will come. Or you stop this, attend to this, come back and take it up. So what is more important is we will not compromise on the quality. This is what Lord Krishna keeps on reminding us. If you consider whatever you do, if you do it with precision, if you do it with perfection, then that is a yoga. That means you are uniting yourself with me. Yoga means union with him. So by concentrating or focusing our attention on anything, now when we are talking, he must make us to involve ourselves totally. Otherwise what will happen? Some words may come out. It will not have any impact. So here when we handle, whether it is a thought, word or deed, right from the tiniest to the grossest, we try to make it as perfectly as possible. Initially there may be, still in spite of our efforts to maintain perfection, initially there may be flaws. But the flaw will be corrected later, we will become aware of the flaw. We are open to receive the criticism or evaluation. Trial and error we say, So that also is a form of perfection. When we involve ourselves with whole soul in attitude, focused attitude, exclusive to anything. No, that is not the word. When we are exclusively concentrating on that, no other diversion takes place. Then only the perfection will come. So our effort is to have totally focused attention. That will alone ensure perfection. And perfection is yoga. In other words, suppose we remove the word yoga, we remove the word perfection. Whatever we do, if we know it's an offering to the Almighty, automatically there will be perfection there. Even when you light a lamp, matchstick also you will not throw. No? After you have lighted the lamp, you will see that the matchstick which you have used it for lighting, it will also be kept in an orderly way, duly recognizing its role. That means wholesouled involvement is there even in a tiny little one. You are lighting the lamp, you are with the matchsticks, it is ignited, and then you are lighting the lamp. There the perfection is there, and also now in disposing of the matchstick. So that means everything becomes an offering, dedication. So probably we can interpret it like this, that perfection means when you offer something to somebody, you do it perfectly. You will not bring the word perfectly, but lovingly, okay. Dedicated action. When you go to a person whom you admire, you respect, what you will do? You go with some fruits. You will say, yes, fruits. Do it well? No. You will only give like this, So there is a dedication. And when we keep on thinking about it and going and watching, there are many people who may not talk anything like this, but their life is an expression of this perfection. Silently they will attend to what is needed, and they do it perfectly. Mataji in her room once exhibited, the asanas were kept. So she herself put the asana in a disorderly way and watch everybody. And then she again put it in an orderly way. Then asked, which one you like? Then everybody said, in the orderly way, that we have to do it. Like that, small, simple examples Mahatmas have shown us. This is how everything has to be kept in the way in which it is to be kept. Everything has to be handled in the way it should be handled. I keep on doing it. So when I do Ram Nam, I am praying to the indwelling reality to bring out these in all my thoughts, in all my words, in all my deeds. Even if we fail, in the shortest possible time, we will be able to pull us up. These two words are very, very important. The first one, Samatvam Yogam uchyate, and Yogah karmasu koushalam. It has got direct, relevance in our day-to-day life. So it is good that now you all raised it, because we have to keep on remembering it.
Swamiji, when Swami is sitting there, he wants to ask you something.
Yes.
Swamiji, you can tell something.
Somebody wants to ask from here.
Soham Hamsa.
Soham Hamsa.
But the meaning.
We don't know Sanskrit, but what we have heard is Soham. I am that. Every now and then, just like yesterday we said, I am not alone, you are with me. Similarly, I am not what I assume myself to be. I think I am so and so, I am born to so and so, I am related to so and so, I am working as so and so. This is the projection I have about me. But I am not. In effect, I am not that. I am that. I am that. I am that. So we devise so many methods to hammer this. And Hamsa, people give different interpretation. The first interpretation we heard was swam. It is in a position to differentiate between milk and water. That means the discriminative faculty is quite what is transient, what is intransient, what is temporary, what is ephemeral, what is eternal. Those who have understood that, they are called Hamsas, Paramahamsas. This is one way of interpretation. We have heard about it. Ultimately, what is needed is to know our original nature.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
This is Vivek from Bangalore.
Huh?
Vivek from
Yeah. Yes, we can see.
Yeah. During the course of our sadhana, has Papa advised any food restriction or diet while repeating Ram Nam?
Yeah. Papa generally always say that sattvic food.
Right.
So each one will know whether this particular food suits. It encourages my thinking on higher realms, or is pulling me back, or pushing me to downward. So we have to be watchful. And even in Bhagavad Gita also it is said, and even in Yuktahara Viharasya, so, Yuktaharam, what each one can decide. Normally, what is in vogue is simple vegetarian food.
I agree.
Yeah. Papa was adhering to that, but he will not give it as a dictum or a dogma.
Okay.
Because we should not develop a prejudice against people who are used to some other diet. No? We equally revere them, love them, but at the same time, for a sadhaka, the most recommended one is simple vegetarian food.
Yes, simple vegetarian.
We cannot argue, it is not a matter of argument, because each one can find out for himself, for herself, which is suitable. But the practice in general is simple vegetarian food.
Okay. Pranam Swami.
Pranam.
Swamiji, Padma here, Swami.
I can understand. The moment you call,
When you say Swamiji, Swamiji understands.
tell
Yeah,
me.
he's my mother, so he has to understand.
Come on.
Yeah. In the Vision of God, in that book, Papa has indirectly said, I think, indirectly he has said even about eating eggs.
Yeah. That's what simple vegetarian. Shuddha Shakhari, Anda Nahi.
Moderate quantity. Lord Krishna.
Yes.
But care should be taken to see that we don't develop any negative thought about people who are used to some other one. No? We may not compromise, but we should not. It's a tough job, but we will be able to get over. Because all these things, by samskara, they take all these food habits. So simple vegetarian, that would be better.
But not necessarily self-cooked or homemade like that, Swamiji.
You see for yourself, there is no hard and fast rule. Certain people would not like to have anything from outside. They will cook and eat. It has got its own advantage.
Because Swamiji, some scriptures mean para anna is not advised.
Others' food. That's nice.
When you feel as para, it is difficult. Suppose you feel God has offered me.
Yes.
It all depends upon how we look at it. No? We have learned from our experience that when we are in a place where vegetarian food is very difficult to get, we don't take anything from outside. We go back to where we stay, we cook and eat. And God provides all facilities for us. Even when there was no electricity and there was no gas, we manage, So self-cooking also will help a lot for a sadhaka, not general. A sadhaka will definitely, because he can choose what should be eaten, not somebody decides for him what to be eaten. And craving will stop. Suppose somebody brings, laddu comes. Shruti is now thinking about laddu now.
Eat laddu.
So here, suppose you take a decision for some time to come, no? I will not do this. Just to have a control on yourself. I will not eat anything from outside. This could be one item in your self-control, so that you are not carried away by any cravings. Suppose youngsters, nowadays we don't know, previously youngsters would like to go for movies, during their holidays or the night show. We were all working, So it is natural for them to have an entertainment like that with a stressful day at office and then coming back to have a relaxation. But suppose another person whom he feels, it may give us some other thoughts, it may touch and kindle so many cravings in my heart, better I will not go. At the same time, we don't look down upon it. So we will say for 1 year I will not see any movie, and see for yourself whether you get over the cravings. So these are not dictum given by somebody else. These are the things which we get evolved and God gives you from within, and then you are free from it. So food or any other habit, where you find it is difficult for you to control because of old baggage, it is better to impose certain disciplines, self-control, for a particular time, and after that you will not have any interest at all. And even if it comes, it will not harm you. After that, even you do opposite to it, it will not harm you. It is just like our mobile, It can be used for certain good purpose. Why good purpose? No many useful purposes. But at the same time, if you use it to touch and kindle your cravings, that is also provided there. Many parents nowadays complain, especially after the corona, because the online classes were going on, and so every child was given a mobile with good intention. 10,000, 12,000 rupees. Those who cannot afford, they will ask somebody, and somehow it will be provided, because everybody was concerned about the education of their children. But then afterwards, now the same parent used to say, nowadays, they don't even talk to us, always do this, So it is just like, but there are many, most of the things are very useful for us, by many. Most of the things are very useful for us. Somebody has done it. So how do we use it? Suppose it is too much, then you will say, I will not look at it for 2 days, 3 days. During our program, I will not touch it. Even if heaven is going to fall down, I will not look into it. So these are all some of the measures that the prompting will come from within to hold on to one particular discipline. It is a must. Though we cannot have a general prescription, we go through, we go through For example, just now it comes to our mind. Suppose you just go to these Varkari or Narmada Parikram, people who are involved in that. What an amount of self-control they have. I saw a photo when Unni was taken the photo and sent. Every step they do pranams, then get up, again do pranams. By that they are covering the place. They must have some sankalpa in their mind, Total involvement, mind is not going anywhere, body is not pressing you to think about anything else. They may not be able to give a lecture on it, but you see that. Self-imposed, nobody says you should do it. But when you actually see it, God is teaching us. So whenever you feel something is bothering you, you silently impose certain restrictions on you. And the first chapter of Inquest of God says how Papa did it. From 3 meals to 2 meals, 2 meals to 1 meal, 1 meal to plain potato with no salt or something.
Chilies also.
What was about his dress, about his bed? Think about it. So self-imposed discipline is a must. Otherwise the mind will run riot. In a month, I won't say every month, at least in a year. Some days we set apart where we are free from our vyavaharik compulsions and then impose certain things silently. Watch for us. Whether the mind is receding from all these outer attractions and positively is it turning towards God remembrance. Not merely receding, withdrawing. Whether it is helping us to dwell on his remembrance more and more. And when we are on that path, guidance will come. Surely guidance will come. 100% sure. Because even if the
Swamiji, the interest in seeing movies or anything goes away, Swami.
Okay, yeah, correct. It is not wrong. Whether the mind, we don't say that all movies are bad or something like that. God is prompting so many people to bring out a movie. But whether that particular one helps me in remembering or not. This is very important. We should not look down upon anything. Everything has come because of him. But whether I use just like our mobile, I am not condemning. I am not telling that it is wrong. But I will not have it because my basic cravings may get tickled. It need not necessarily be for others.
Swamiji, how about serials?
Because I have not seen, I can't tell you anything. There may be good serials. Suppose you are concentrating upon some values there, and if the value is explicit there, it might help you. Check up whether it is helping you, whatever you are made to go experience, whether it is helping you to remember him.
Yes.
That is more important. And initially, for a sadhaka, some discipline is absolutely necessary. 100%. Just like when we are preparing for some exams, we withdraw from all our routine thoughts and concentrate, It is a tapas. Concentrated effort is called a tapas. Not that you go to the Himalayas and sit there in stand on one leg, no. Tapas is in a concentrated effort. exclusive effort. So for that, you have to withdraw, naturally. Withdraw from your usual routine, usual involvement, you will not submit to the demands of your sense organs. Because sense organs are taking us away from this center. We all know that. The moment I indulge in eating, indulge in anything, seeing, hearing, anything that is outside, especially for a novice, I am forgetting God. So self-control means you are putting the reins of your sense organs are pulled and kept not to go away. There may be trying situation where you don't want to hear certain things, but you are placed there. Easy way is to get up and go quietly. Nobody will know. You are not giving a lecture about self-control. You quietly get away and go and be alone. Like that, God will guide us also how to handle such situations. Sadhana.
Swamiji, Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Okay, you may speak. Continue. That other one.
Yes, I just about when the senses are
please go on.
when the senses are engaged. If we go to a beautiful place, for example, like when Papa was in his travels, he would also often talk about the beautiful landscapes that he would see in Europe, for example. And it seemed like even when the senses were engaged, if it's with the eyes or taste or hearing or the nose, we can still be engaged in enjoying them as long as we are remembering that everything we're experiencing is wrong. Correct?
Yeah.
We're not denying the senses. We're simply remembering the Lord through them.
Yeah, it's a wonderful point you have raised. The same sense organs, we need not condemn them, we need not belittle their importance. Just like the mobile, the sense organs also can identify objects, situations, persons that will help us in our inward journey. You are right. In IQG, it has been clearly brought out. And not only that, there are two poems of Papa where he gives us clarity. I find him everywhere. And there suddenly we understand, I find him everywhere. So to him, he has reached a stage where he and God only was there, so there is nothing else. To us, we feel God is separate and God remembrance gets hampered because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that. To reach that stage initially, we have to withdraw from them. Without condemning them, without belittling them, without looking down upon them. Yes, IQG in-depth study teaches that also. Good.
Swamiji, pranams.
Pranam.
When I was working and working in the school and all, so many times we had to go to restaurants to eat together because it was decided by teachers and all. So then I thought that sadhana is very difficult. Only we can say Ramnam personally, but otherwise to observe all those things, it is difficult. But now at this stage, that is, I feel, going out and eating becomes difficult. We don't want it. Now after listening to this IQG and all these things, eating home food or simple food or not pungent food and all, it has become a habit and necessity.
Very good.
Now we don't need it. It is not that we boycott it or something.
No.
But we don't need it.
Yeah.
We feel that it is not necessary. and it keeps us in good spirit, like mental spirit and all.
Correct.
And whenever we have to go and eat out, it becomes just because it is being decided by everybody and convenient for all. Then we go out, but not because we like it. We enjoy or accept and simple food. This is because I think because of Ramnam, the Satsang every day.
Right.
We don't feel that we miss something when we don't go out.
Quite right.
Yes, Swamiji, I also agree. And not only that, it doesn't suit also.
It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't suit now.
Okay.
And watching a movie is not required. Doing Ramnam quietly is more suitable and more interesting also. Now,
Yeah.
if the Papa has changed us, molded us to his liking, copied us to his liking all the time.
Glory to him.
It may not be because of the age, but even then, it is because our likings have changed.
Correct.
Because of Ramnam and constant satsang and all. We don't feel that going out is an enjoyment or have some change in the food or meeting all people constantly. It is a necessity. So our interests have changed, our likings have changed. So then I feel that, okay, yes, because of Ramnam, we have changed little bit, at least on sadhaka's line, journey.
Correct.
It must have happened because of the satsang.
Yeah.
Daily listening to it, and that is the benefit of the mobile technology. Otherwise, for satsang, listening to satsang, we would have to come to ashram.
Okay.
But because of the mobile and all, we can, in our own place, we can listen to everything.
Exactly.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
when you refused this Google Meet, I was actually jealous of people who are there in the ashram.
When you reduce the Google Meet, I was jealous about the ashram people. They are there. You have reduced for us the days for Google.
Date for?
Google Meet. For few days we have reduced, no? So that time she felt jealous about the people who are staying in ashram.
Now coming back to the food again, we were remembering Mathadipati.
That's why I asked for the alternative during that time.
Okay. We were thinking about the Mathadipatis, you remember? The Mathadipatis, they don't take food anything from outside. They have their own cook or cooking system, and they will do it. So previously we thought why they were doing it. Even in the case of Mahaperiyawal, no? Kanchi, Kamakoti Pitam, the senior pontiff. We happened to meet them, and at that time when we asked what do they eat, puffed rice, puri, that also a limited quantity. So even a person who has scaled the heights, they are imposing a lot of some do's and don'ts. And where are we? So the food has some impact or direct impact on our sadhana. Just now we were thinking about it. No Mathadipati will take they will cook their own. Even if they come to Anandashram, not only Mathadipati, so nowadays of course it is not there. We were told when one devotee comes from a great devotee of Papa, very great devotee of Papa, when they come from Bombay, they bring the cook, they cook and eat. Because their old habits are still there. Many people. Now, for example, if somebody comes from Tamil Nadu, Vittal Das, we call him, Dikshitar. They bring their own people or their wife. We will provide them with everything. When they visit us, we will ask them whether you would join us for the. Then they said, no, we will make. So we will provide them with gas, provisions, everything, and they cook. it is purely related to their own sadhana, their samskaras. So we previously we were not able to understand. Then later on we come to understand, yes, it has come to stay with them. That is the samskara they have developed. They cannot go against the samskara. So like that, we can also develop. It's not that we can. We can also think about it, and God will make us to develop certain do's and don'ts in our life. And wherever we have seen, suppose we hold on to it, He will see to it that either we become comfortable of not taking anything, or we get what we want. Suppose something is not available, then we will not feel bad about it. That is not our liking, that's all. To be more precise, one experience we had, we are orthodox vegetarians, not even Sasmal. So sometime during 70s, that was our first North Indian trip. So on that day from Calicut to Delhi, 2 nights you have to spend in the train. At that time, the train had a dining car and a library also. So in the dining car, you go there, there will be chair, table, dining table, everything will be there. So we went there is a counter there, so we asked, vegetarian food? Yes, vegetarian food. So we paid the money and sat. Somebody brought us the thali, vegetarian food was there. After some time, another person also came and sat. The moment his thali came, I knew it was not vegetarian. Just like an electric shock, we got up. We have not started. We rushed up to the counter. I told you, whether to be, vegetarian, but he is taking non-vegetarian, and non-vegetarian is also there. Sorry, we cannot. And then we came out, bought something from the station, and then ate. So what we mean is, if our samskara becomes rooted, God will see to it that we don't violate. It is not our intelligence or our capacity. We will not blame the railway authorities. He did not say only, we said vegetarian, he gave vegetarian ticket. We did not ask whether, so that gave us, every time when we go and ask, suppose on those days we were not at all comfortable with the Hindi. So when it will be written there, we go to the hotel and ask, vegetarian, Shuddha Shakahari, Vaishnava Tava, Shuddha Shakahari. Then again, Anda Nahi, all these things we will clarify. And then we look at the menu on the board, then only we go and sit. Otherwise we will not be comfortable. But at the same time, not having any negative idea about those who are taking it. That is their samskara. We have been brought up in this samskara. It has become a part of our life. So we ask whether it is coming from pure vegetarian, this thing. Yes. Though it is absolutely relative, still as a spiritual sadhaka, it is necessary that to have some control, some do's and don'ts initially. Anything else?
Yes, I wanted to say something.
Somebody is telling from here.
If by changing food habits, the transformation won't happen. But if transformation happens from within, food habits will automatically change.
The transformation?
If transformation happens within, food habits will automatically change.
Yeah.
Because it's all about doing something compulsively or consciously. If you are doing it compulsively.
No, see, your exposure will tell you if you are having an open-mindedness and you look at the world, there are Noble people who may not be following this.
Yeah.
Noble people. In their heart, we can say the me to we is more than we look at ourselves, where me to me is predominant. So that is how we say we don't condemn them. It is the samskara is different, that's called. So we go along with our samskara. Initially, as a spiritual aspirant, everybody suggests that it should be a sattvic food, some self-denial, to put a check on our palate, Because Gandhiji was maintaining that if we can control the tongue, we can control all sense organs. That is so.
Self-control, leads to repression.
We should not. You are doing it by yourself, If you are not comfortable, you will not.
It should be conscious.
You should be comfortable. When you are clear about the objective, then it is not a forced one. If you say you are imposing against your will, then it will lead to so many other complications. So these are all the things, which one has to take one's own decision. Yes. Five o'clock.
So introspection and elimination is a must. Introspection and elimination.
Introspection. Introspection, elimination is a must. As a sadhaka, we should. Puja Swamiji used to say that Mataji was very strict with the sadhakas. She may be lenient with others. Because why, a sadhaka has struggled and gained some level. If there is a slip, the damage will be too much.
Paramapadam.
It will be too much, very difficult. It is like the snake and ladder, You have struggled so much to raise yourself. And a slip on your part is responsible for undoing what all you have done over so many years. So, Puja Swamiji used to say Mataji was very, very strict with sadhakas. She would take them into task. A slight error, slight slip, she will immediately point out and say, no, should not. So it is a clean reminder for us. When we have shifted our priority to become aware of His presence within, though everything is God, one has to be choosy and selective in the initial stage. That will give us the insulation. Later on, wherever we are, nothing will happen to us. But until we reach that stage, something is necessary. It's a very good topic today, it has come out. Keep on thinking about it, the various aspects of it. And going through the biographies of Mahatmas, we will come to know the relevance of the self-denial. As we have shared.
Swamiji. Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Not only non-veg, but even having rich sweet food like mishtan and sweetmeats and all. That rajasic food also.
Rajasic food.
Rajasic food also makes a very sluggish and lethargic. So for having lot of food like quantity and all, it makes us lethargic, and then we feel, why should we get up early for Ramnam, or let us sleep little more? What is the harm? So having any sweetmeats and all sweets and rajasic food also, I have realized that it makes us very lazy in this life.
counterproductive.
Difficult for sadhaka. Because we become, when we start finding excuses.
Yeah.
Why should I get up early?
Right.
Sleep little more. What's the harm? If I don't do Ramnam, what will happen?
But
Yeah.
Swamiji, I had a friend, a Christian nun, very, very sattvic, but she used to take beef. So it is all relative.
But as we need not condemn, but we should stick to our. We need not condemn anybody because we have seen many noble people not adhering to what we feel is right. But at the same time, we follow, otherwise we don't follow anything, you know. Yeah. So our basic thing is simple vegetarian food. And you are right, not too much, even under the banner of simple vegetarian food. Not too much, because that will make us drowsy. That also should be there. Yukta. That is why I said yuktahara viharasya. That particular, tomorrow we will take it up. That is very, very important, because the body has been given to us by God to realize His presence. Whereas suppose we come down to the body level and start pampering it, it will take us away from Him. The very purpose of our getting the body will be defeated. So ahara is one of the contributory factors for our inward journey. I won't say that it is the only one. There are many, but yukta ahara is also a very important. It has a role to play. Very good.
Swamiji,
Ah.
nowadays there are also people who go for vegan diet. Vegan, they don't even have milk in the tea, coffee. Nothing of animal products.
Yeah,
that is a fashion, Swami.
That is also becoming very famous everywhere. Once you say you cannot have milk, vegan diet means nothing to do with animal milk.
Correct.
Not even the milk is also from peanuts and almond and all those things like that.
Correct.
So that also has started like that. People are not eating even the milk.
It is said that whatever is fit to be offered as prasad to the God is sattvic. Can we take it that way?
It is difficult to say anything about it, because whatever comes to your mind. To Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, recently we had a chat with one of the senior monks of Ramakrishna Mutt. So when we asked him, we had occasions to visit Belur Mutt and Dakshineshwar in 99. At that time, though Belur Mutt and everything, it's all perfectly kept neat. Dakshineshwar, especially the room where Papa had that thrilling experience, we couldn't find that it's kept in the way in which it deserves. So then we came to know that it is not coming under Belur Mutt. So we asked him recently when we met him 3 months back, why is it that Belur Mutt is not taking over the Dakshineshwar? So initially he kept quiet. Then finally he said, not only it is attached to the Kali temple, and in Kali temple offering is different, which may not go along with what we feel. It may cause a lot of disturbance to so many. So we avoided it. Then only we understood. We are not questioning why it is there or not. But those who have reached that stage at that, they may be finding it all right. To us, it may not be fine. We may not be finding it all right. Our samskara does not permit us. He will not offer such things to God, What we find in the sattvic food only, what we will offer, we will only payasam, we will only kheera, something like that, Most harmless. At the same time, it will be sweet, fruits. On all important days, what do we do?
Swamiji?
Thank you, Swamiji.
So,
Kannappa Nayanar offered me.
Kannappa.
Adellam, we have not reached Kannappa Nayanar's position. Na? When we reach that place, we will not be discussing it.
We don't have.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hari Om. Okay, we had a very lively session. Tomorrow we will continue. Hari Om. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om